Hello and welcome to another Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast, the Patrick Bamford Appreciation Podcast.
And a wonderful day for Patrick Bamford, who's been reinvented under Marcelo Bielsa. People wondered at the start of this season whether he was truly a Premier League striker, but he's been scoring goals, and as well as the one he got today, 2 assists as well.
Player for me that stood out was Bamford for Leeds. Real difference maker, brilliant up top, led the line well, got a goal, got an assist. For me, he was player of the match.
Terrific game, Karen. And if Patrick Bamford had wanted to put together his own advert for Gareth Southgate, he couldn't have done it better than that 90 minutes.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Oh, it won't stop. It won't stop. It won't stop. You take that away. I mean, it's just on repeat. Bamford praises on repeat. Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, welcome everyone. It is well worth wondering if Patrick Bamford will be playing for Imford. Will be playing for Imford. Will be playing for England in the summer. It's very exciting times, boys. I'm guessing mixed weeks due to some of the WhatsApp messages we've been receiving from Mike. So I'm going to controversially start with a listener question that's come in from here we go, straight to listener question from Joe Parsons, who asks, after Mike's 7 transfers last week, has he broken even? So Mike, how was your game week?
Well, I need to clarify, does break even mean 0?
Yes. Just about.
Well, then I just about have broken even.
Okay. You were doing so well.
Absolutely fuming.
To confirm, you got 143 points just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did.
And how many points have you ended up with
this week?
Well, yes.
Yeah, none. No points.
What, a net of 0?
Net of 0.
You're just such an idiot. What have you? I mean,
you talking for your team, Mike?
Yeah, go for your team. Because it's not a bad team.
It really wasn't. I mean, we went through this, didn't we, on Friday's podcast, and we were all actually praising Mike's team and how good it was.
Thanks, lads. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Sorry,
it's been a tough one. I'm not going to lie, lads. Let's have a quick look. Then I'll share my screen with you. We'll start with Areola in goal. Who
well last week got you 10 points.
Yeah, just the one today though.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we've got Reece James, who for some reason isn't getting starts under Tuchel and was brought on for how many minutes? 1. Oh no, 17 minutes. 17 minutes. Sorry, 17 minutes. Excellent. Alexander-Arnold thought he was going to pull something out of the bag for me, but of course conceded in the 84th minute away at West Ham today. John Stones didn't play, so all is not lost. I do get 1 point coming off the bench for James Justin. So actually, I have got a solitary point.
There we go. Things are looking
what
up.
A game week.
My captain, Raheem Sterling, 0. Wilf Zaha, 2. Fernandes, 3. Grealish, 6. And Maddison, 5. The only bright spots in what has been the dankest of weeks. Antonio, 2. And Calvert-Lewin, 2. Look to my bench. There's a total of 3 points across 4 players. Honestly, lads.
Boys, just go to the top. So if, say, you started on 0 this week, so you would have ended up with 24. Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the best, is it?
It's not the best, no. But I've made some changes.
Of course.
But you just need to be patient because it's not a bad team. It's just a weird week.
Well,
a lot of the big hitters didn't do well.
Too late. I've changed both my goalkeepers. A bit annoying. I bought Fabianski in last night and then realised he was playing against 2 of my attacking players. So bought in another goalie. So that's my 2 changes there. I've also bought in Matty Cash. Also, only 3 changes actually at the moment. 3 changes at the moment.
Just stop there because you were, as we've discussed, maybe 3 weeks ago, you were about 200 points behind us. 3 weeks ago, you then got 143 points in the double game week compared to my 50, and suddenly after a couple of weeks you were less than 100 behind, and now you've got a net 1.
Yeah,
how's that catching up working out?
Yeah, it's been a horrible weekend, lads. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's been pretty sucky.
On the upside,
I
believe I did deliver you some chocolate brownies today.
Well, yes, you did, and they were very nice. Thank you. Well, I only had one, really.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like it's made you that happy. I kind of wish I kept them here. I mean, what?
Yeah, they were good brownies.
Right.
But it's going to take more than sugar when... Yeah, I've had a week like this. It's hit me hard.
Bread.
I didn't see the banana bread, and I don't really agree with banana bread.
Okay.
Don't really agree with
fudge. I've made some fudge.
No.
I love fudge. Go post it wherever you want, mate. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Yeah. But I mean, maybe you'll appreciate it, Ant, at least.
I'm not sure I realised just how much I care about fantasy football until this week, and it's hit me. It's hit me hard.
The good news is there's another game week on Tuesday. So it's a quick turnaround.
It's good and bad, though, isn't it? I mean, like with Bournemouth at the moment, I dread the next game because they're one after the other, and we just keep losing. It's probably a bit like that with FPL, isn't it? When you've had a couple of bad weeks, you're kind of dreading the next one, I think.
I mean, yeah, Fernandez. Come on, Fernandez. Pull your finger out.
That's
Raheem Sterling. Pep Guardiola. I've always said, no City assets. I've been saying it consistently all season. Maybe have Foden in there on the cheap, but don't spend 11.4 million on Raheem Sterling. Don't do it.
Then he didn't even get on, did he?
Anyway, I've kept him in for next week, so we'll see what happens. I'm absolutely fuming.
It swings and roundabouts. Ant, how did you get on?
Well, slightly better than Mike, but that's not saying a lot. So I made one transfer. I took out Kane for DCL. So I didn't start on a hit, which I think you boys both did, obviously, didn't you? But other than that, I mean, I just like Mike was inflicted with Sterling as captain, who got 0. Stones is 0. Aurier tonight for Spurs hasn't played, so that's another 0. Luckily for me, however, I do have Patrick Bamford on my bench, 12 points. Thank you very much. I do also have Lookman on my bench, 2 points.
Absolutely disgusting.
So I do believe I'm going to get a grand total of 46 points, which actually, judging by this game week, isn't too bad. But yeah, pretty ropey.
My father-in-law's got 30 points on his bench.
Sorry, what?
Wow.
He's got 30 points on his bench, not coming on.
The players?
Not coming on.
He's got Bamford. He had a goalie who kept a clean sheet. He had Jamal Lewis, maybe. Yeah. It was 30 points. Pretty rough.
Coming on.
One of them is coming on, and it was the only player who got 2 points. He was a Saints defender.
That's incredible.
Yeah, not the best.
There's only one thing that hits me harder than losing FPL at the moment, and that is Patrick Ruddy Bamford playing like Pele. I'm absolutely furious about it.
What a goal!
What a goal! What a hit! Two lovely assists as well.
Yeah, that second assist. What a gentleman! And did you hear he's done 2 interviews where he's mentioned his fantasy football team today, where he's really angry because he uncaptained himself this game week. He's furious.
Shows, he didn't have confidence in himself.
Exactly. He's still in though. He's still in the team. He still gets the points. Shall I go through my team?
We'd love to hear it, mate, because I think you've done the best out of the 3 of us.
I'd love.
Well, I've had
look at your team.
I've had some terrible game weeks. As we discussed, I managed to get 51 in the double game week, which isn't great.
Just the near 100 less than Mike.
Just ridiculous. I started on a -4 today because I had so many injuries. I took out Smith Rowe, who was injured, and happily, I will admit, I killed Gundogan because, as I mentioned on the podcast last week, I think I don't even care if he does well. I just don't want everyone else to have him, and then me not. So I've had a few. Kane there. Yeah, well, I started Kane on the off chance that this was one of Mourinho's little ruse, because I remember earlier in the season I had Son when he said that Son was injured and then he scored a hat-trick or something. It was ridiculous. So I kept Kane in because I'm hoping it's a short-term injury, because I imagine he'll want him back for Chelsea. So I kept Kane in and started him just on the off chance, but he isn't playing. So yeah, I had my transfer in was Dina, who was my vice captain, who did nothing. And actually, with Dina, I realised he doesn't take any set pieces anymore now that Rodriguez is there. I think that was Everton's problem yesterday. They were just trying to get the ball to Rodriguez and ignoring everyone else. So McCarthy in goal got 3 points. Dini got me 1. Cancelo didn't play, but nor did Mitchell on my bench. So Dallas comes in with 7 points bonus.
Unbelievable.
Robertson got 2. That late goal was frustrating. Souček got booked. He got 1. Salah captain. He'll end up on 30 points after bonuses. Fernandez, Foden, and Gundogan. Foden. I mean, I hate having Foden. And
again.
Yeah, and because he started again this week, so he'll no doubt get rested. This midweek, there's no way I expect Foden or Gundogan to start, especially Foden. So I don't really know what to do with him. Of course, I always start Patrick Bamford because I believe in him, and he'll end up with 15 points.
What's that little bit of yellow?
Yeah, he's got a good leg, isn't he?
No worries, just a dead leg, boys. Just a dead leg. We all get dead legs. We've all been to school. It's fine. It's a school. Yeah. It's a school playground injury, not a I can't play football in the Premier League injury. So he's done well. 15 points there. He'll get. So I'll end up on 70, I believe.
Yowza.
70 points, 7-0. So 69 more than Mike, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
70 times as much as mine.
That is an incredible score for this kind of game we meet. That really is.
Well, to put it in perspective, last night I had 13 points from 6 players. And I've ended up on 70. So, yeah, it's just one of those weird game weeks, but I'll take it. I needed a good game week. How do we get on with our punts, where we pick a player with less than 2% ownership? I'll go first if you want. I had Lookman.
Didn't do much, did he?
Useless.
I couldn't even tell you I had.
Oh dear.
Excellent.
I think no, it wasn't Bernardo. Was it Bernardo Silva?
No,
it was somebody. It was somebody else. I think.
Don't worry. They didn't do very well, whoever they were.
Oh, I know who it was. Perez of Leicester.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
He was awful today.
Inspired really from me there.
But good news is, boys, the first time since game week 1, I've won the punt.
Congratulations.
Pereira. I had Pereira of West Brom, who got a goal and an assist.
And interestingly,
yes,
he, of our listeners as well, he was the winner. 2 people went for him on Twitter. Frame Yourself and FPL Architect both went for Pereira.
Architect. Nay. Remember that one?
No.
Make your body move. You got to hurt your body groove.
Yes. Yeah,
that's all I need. That's what I need for a bit of a pick-me-up. I need a little bit of 90s garage.
Okay. Tell you what you need to yourself up, a game of every second mounts.
Oh, come on then.
Well, should we just quickly go over our Twitter winners? So Frame Yourself got in there just before FPL Architect. So Frame Yourself will be picking one of our captains. Honourable mentions to Mickey Race and FPL Buddy, who went for Eberici Eze. Stadium of Sports, who went for Bobby Reed, and James Whittle Hall, who went for Matty Cash. Unfortunately, they didn't get as many points as Pereira. So Frame Yourself will pick a captain of either mine or Mike's coming into this midweek game week.
So, boys, I am looking for players who have scored 7 or more goals so far this season, and I can tell you there is 18 possibles here. So, Mike, I'm feeling sympathetic to you, mate, as you've had a bit of a shocker this week. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
6?
I was hoping it wasn't going to be about FPL.
Oh no!
I was hoping it was about 90s garage. I will say 7 goals or more.
7 goals or more.
18 players. Gosh.
18 players, yeah.
All right, I'll say 7.
Okay. Phil, can you do 8?
Yes. 8.
Oh, he's feeling big. Mike, can you do 9?
Yes.
Oh. You feeling brave, Phil? Can you do double figures?
I just can't think of. How many goals?
7 or more.
How many has he said?
9.
9.
That's half of them.
I think you're
10.
capable, mate. Oh, he's gone for it.
In which case, I will let you play.
That is a shame.
So, Phil, where are we going to start with these 7 or more then?
Can someone else count? Well,
Mike, do you mind counting?
I'd be more than happy to count.
Lovely news. Okay, Phil, off you go.
Obviously, with 11 Premier League goals this season, Patrick Bamford, England's Patrick Bamford.
Correct. That's your first one.
Mohamed Salah, who today, when he scored, I was washing up and I had the game on my tablet, and he scored, and I was dancing. My 7-year-old daughter came in and said, "Daddy, I've never seen you so flexible."
Oh wow!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did your wife also say that?
No, my wife has seen me far more flexible than that.
Okay.
Good news. Okay, well, he's got 15 goals and he's the highest scorer so far this season. So congratulations. That's your second. 8 more to go.
Just so you know, my wife is next to me and nodding.
What about the flexible or about your answers so far?
I assume it's because she's happy with the answers so far. Harry Kane.
Yes, he's got 12.
Yeah, this is harder than I was expecting.
Mm.
7 or more goals. Jamie Vardy.
Yes, he's got 11.
That's 2
Callum
you've got
Wilson.
right.
Callum Wilson.
Correct. 10.
That's 3 you've got right.
What?
No,
3?
it's 4.
That's 5 actually.
It's 5. Oh, wow. Wait,
This is unreal.
halfway, my friend. Halfway.
I'm going to take a gamble because I've gone blank already. Mane.
He's on there with 7.
Oh, what? Okay, that's 6.
Oh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin must have done at the start of the season.
11. 4th highest scorer. Joint with Vardy and Bamford.
3 to find.
Son.
Correct. 12 for him.
2 to find.
He's useless. He's useless. Ollie Watkins.
Yes. 8 for him this season.
Oh, no. 1
to go, my friend,
find.
and Mike can have his captain picked.
1 to find. I don't know if this is the player that you got wrong last time. Fernandez.
That's your win, mate. He scored 11
what?
goals. 10. Well done. That was impressive. I mean, there was some big names on that list. So I'll just quickly run it through with you. Salah with 15, Son and Kane with 12, DCL, Vardy, Bamford and Fernandez tied on 11, Wilson on 10, Zaha 9, Lacazette's got 8. We've mocked him, but he's got 8. Ollie Watkins 8, Mope's got 7, Barnes 7, Mane 7, Gundogan 7, Rashford, Ings and Souček all with 7.
Okay.
Well done, Phil. Sorry, Mike, your bad week just got a little bit worse, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you say it's got worse. Last time Mike had his captain picked, someone picked John Stones for him, and he got him more points than my entire team.
That's true. And the last time I picked my own captain, I got 0. So
Exactly.
You can't get that lucky twice, can you, surely?
let's hope so.
I mean, you had a game week recently where the Spurs game was called off, and you had captain Kane and vice captain Son. Was that right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Dear.
Oh,
Okay.
that was impressive, Phil. That was good to get 10. Well done, mate.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it feels like I'm on a win. So let's move on then, as we've done our punts. So the big discussion that you guys want to talk about is Bruno Fernandes and what do we do with him? Because he is not doing anything at the moment, is he?
No. 5 games now. No goal, no assist. He doesn't look himself, does he? I didn't see all of the Arsenal game yesterday, but he doesn't look on it at all. His end product wasn't there. United didn't create a great deal. And with the price he is, I'm just looking at their fixtures. So they've got Southampton at home and Everton at home. So whether it's worth clinging on to him because those are winnable games.
Then he's got West Brom and Newcastle.
Yeah, that's very true. So next 4 on paper, but he has a lot of money, isn't he? If it goes to a 6th game, could that be the cutoff? What do you boys think?
I think I'm going to stick with him regardless because I just think he will turn. He's too good not to, and I think they've not won a penalty for a few games, have they? I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
no one wins penalties anymore.
No one gets penalties. Yeah, it's very true.
It's maybe gone the other way because if you remember when VAR was first introduced, there were penalties left, right, and centre. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the star player that I would just not be without at the moment is Grealish.
Yeah.
Grealish for me is the pick of the bunch. Yeah, he's going to get you bonus points. He's going to get you assists. Yeah,
he's always
really,
involved,
really rate him. Yeah, always involved. And you just don't see him being dropped either. You don't see him being rested.
No, they can't. They can't. Phil, what about Fernandes for you? Keep him or get rid?
I've got him, and I've got Salah as well. And some people are getting rid of Salah this week. I think cream rises to the top. United are putting together some results. I mean, they didn't the other day, but they're not playing great, are they?
No, they were very poor against Sheffield the other night.
They beat Fulham 2-1. Then they lost to Sheffield United. They drew 0-0 with Arsenal, and it wasn't that inspiring a performance. So I'm going to keep him because I've got other issues. I can't be, carrying Phil Foden but ditching Fernandes. But I can see why people would want to move him on.
56.1% of players have got Fernandes, including all of us. So I think he's an interesting one to keep an eye on, certainly. And when you've got just looking around, like you've got, Barnes of Leicester scored again today, and he's 7% ownership, which I'm absolutely amazed at. He's only 6.9 million. I've had him for more than half the season now, and he's done really well for me. Kind of pulling the string, him and Maddison pulling the strings really for Leicester. I know they lost today, but they played against a good Leeds team. So, I just don't think with Fernandes. I think if he blanks these next two home games, I think I would certainly be looking to ship him out. I've got the slight advantage here as well. I think me and you, Phil, both got our wild cards.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of clinging on for that at the moment. And I can't wait for some injuries, I think.
I'm very much waiting for the double game weeks to be announced, if they are ever announced, because I'll probably wild card in then the week before so I can bench boost, ideally without any sort of COVID outbreaks, for the big double game week.
Yeah, boys, I think in terms of high value midfielders, the two standouts are either Fernandes or Salah, and people have been dropping them and juggling them, and for some people, there's only room for one of them in their side. So I think we should go to the callers. We've got 7 people on the line. It's been pointed out that 10 is actually an even number and makes for a draw. So we're going to, Phil, if you could keep score, please, on this occasion. We're going to go to Ant, who's keeping charge of the lines. And here we go. Are you ready, Ant? You got 7 people on the line
this time, and you will put me on.
No,
speaker.
there'll be none of that because my phone is otherwise engaged. So just we'll just pretend you're on the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. And this could have been smoother. Not going to lie. So Fernandes or Salah? That's the answer. Question we're answering. We've got Dwight from York on I1. Good evening, Dwight.
Good evening.
And who are you going for, Dwight? Fernandes or Salah?
Ooh, Salah. The accents aren't getting any better, are they, boys? In fact, they're probably getting worse.
Don't worry, we've got online too. We've got Johnny from Vegas. Johnny, how are you this evening? What time is it over there?
It's 5 a.m.
Is it, Johnny, in Vegas? 5 a.m. Okay, cool. And have you been out playing the fruit machines today?
Oh no, lockdown, mate. Lockdown.
Oh yeah, of course, Johnny. Yeah. And who are you going for, Fernandes or Salah?
I know he's out of form, but I'm going to stick with Fernandes.
Okay, thank you. Barbara in Windsor. Good evening, Barbara.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Barbara. And what did you do for your hours of exercise this afternoon?
Oh, I took me big dog for a walk. Oh no, actually, it's not big. It's a cocker spaniel. Oh, silly me.
Sounds smutty. Barbara, Fernandes or Salah?
Look at Phil's face.
You're a big cocker spaniel.
Yeah, big cocker spaniel. Oh, I'm going to go Salah.
Okay, we'll go to Ireland now. We've got Simon in County Mayo. Fernandes or Salah?
It's got to be Fernandes.
What have you been in? Have you been in County Mayo long, Simon?
Only a year.
Right. Okay. Let's
Save
move
me.
to
Someone save me
let's
now.
move to another part of Ireland. We've got Dominic in Cork. Good evening, Dominic.
Good evening.
Dominic, are you another one that's recently moved to Ireland? Not sounding every inch the leprechaun.
Yeah, from London, mate. London.
Oh, well, this is a cop out. Okay, Fernandez or Salah?
Salah.
And a big one to finish. We're going to go to Joaquin in Phoenix. Good evening, Joaquin.
Oh no.
Joaquin, why Fernandez or why Salah?
Gotta be Salah. Look at the fixtures, mate. Salah.
Another one recently moved. Thank you to all our callers. Phil, who takes it?
I think I wasn't counting. I was thinking if there's people listening to the podcast, this will be the point where they think, you know what? There's got to be other podcasts out there. You know what I mean? Let me try another podcast. Why don't I try the FPL experiment or Always Cheating or something?
I mean, I'm sure they're very good, but don't talk them all up.
I mean, I'm putting them in comparison to the caller section of our podcast. I think Salah won.
There you go. The callers have spoken, including all the expats. There you go.
Lots of expats this week. It's the Royal Rumble tonight in the wrestling world, which is obviously the highlight of any sort of wrestling calendar, I imagine. If you were to put all of the Premier League managers into the Royal Rumble, who would win?
Oh, Stone Cold Sean Dyche, surely.
Just on his voice. It's a good shout.
And he looks very much like Stone Cold.
I mean, in the Royal Rumble, you've got to throw all your you've got to throw people over the rope to eliminate them, the top rope. So is he getting Sam Allardyce over the rope?
Yeah, I think he is, you know.
Yeah, I reckon.
I think Dyche can handle himself.
Chris Wilder? Yeah. No, too small.
Chris Wilder?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that.
No, fair enough.
I can see Scott Parker go around biting some ankles.
Maybe.
But that won't help him in the competition. I mean, he'll be an easy elimination, I imagine.
I mean, realistically, who else would it be? There's not really a beefcake, is there?
No,
not if you. I mean, you got Big Sam. I can imagine Carlo Ancelotti would enter the ring and eliminate himself.
I think very much down to running order. If Big Sam turns up late in the day, you know, his music start. You know, they're well into the Rumble, and the music starts, and in he walks, and everyone turns around like, "Oh no, it's Big Sam," and then he comes and just chucks everyone out. That I could see, but you put him in early doors, he's not going to have the stamina to last.
That's true.
What would Bielsa?
Oh, that's a cool.
Bielsa, would he like smash people over the head with the bucket that he's been sat on?
Yes, and he's throw cups of tea or whatever it is that he has over their faces as well. Scold them and then whack them over the head. Job done.
What would Big Sam's walk-in music be?
Big Sam.
I'll let you think about that. I'll let you think about that.
That's a question for our listeners right there.
Yeah, Big Sam's walk-in music. I mean, Take a Walk on the Wild Side. Wild Thing.
It could be. Yeah, Wild Thing did come to mind for me as well.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we've had this chat. I feel like it's exactly what the listeners and the viewers wanted to know.
Oh, they've all switched back on now. They were just about to head over to FPL, whoever it was you were saying, but sticking around now. That kind of content.
Should we look at
Big Sam Allardyce's walk-on music be if he was a wrestler?
Are you really struggling for content that much this week, boys?
No, I was just wondering. I mean, I don't get to watch much wrestling these days, but the Royal Rumble I'll try and catch.
Probably because you're 35 years old.
If you were going to tag team with somebody, any player to be a tag team with you, who would you pick?
Oh, there we go. That's a good one.
I'll tell you now, I'm going for little N'Golo Kante, just scampering around. Bang, bang, bang. He'd be the pace, and he'd be the legs of the team, and I'd sort of sit on everyone's head.
Yeah.
Really nasty.
Fury. Yeah, I'd probably go Soyuncu, and I would do my hair like his as well, because I've got the length, I can do it, and we could be some sort of twins.
I'd go for Morgan of Leicester because he's an absolute beefcake.
Big Wes, yeah.
Yeah, Big Wes. He would take you down.
Actually, in hindsight, can I change to Traore from Wolves, who is the strongest man on the planet?
Biggest thighs in the world.
Would he be oiled up so that anybody that tried to wrestle him would just slip away?
Oh, at the request of viewers, we will both be oiled up.
You can keep your oil, thanks, mate.
Incredible.
Okay, well, there's an image. So let's move on to previewing game week. So game week 22, which starts on Tuesday. So don't be caught out by that, everyone. By the way, Brighton have beaten Spurs 1-0.
Yeah,
oy.
That puts the absolute nail in the coffin for poor old West Brom and Fulham, doesn't it? In terms of relegation, you would think.
It's a big result. And even more important than that, it puts a nail in the coffin to Mike's. Oh, Spurs are definitely going to win their title claims.
I think what we've learned is I know nothing about anything to do with football.
That's true.
This was always my concern with Spurs as soon as Kane got injured, and there we have it.
I was never here for the expert advice. I was here for the occasional show tune and the odd.
And the silver hair.
I'm fairly confident the listeners don't come to you for advice, mate. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Right, the big one then, boys, to start with. Bramwell Lane, Sheffield United, West Brom.
Yeah, get the kids. Let the kids stay up late, lads, because 6 o'clock kickoff. You don't want to be missing this one. It has all the makings of a cracking 0-0 with plenty of bookings, more bookings than goals. That's what I like to say sometimes, and that is, I think, applicable here.
Well, they're both. Go on, Em.
One thing I would say, so I was just going to say about West Brom is they can't really defend, can they? So I actually think Sheffield United are going to sneak this 1-0.
Yeah, I can see that neither team will be happy with a draw, and it'll almost turn into a cup game.
Well, that's what happened. Did you boys see the Fulham West Brom game at the weekend? It was actually a really good game. It was
that was great.
Terrestrial game, 3 o'clock, and that was actually a really good game. Fulham was so good first half, blew their chances, and then West Brom came back well second half. But yeah, like you say, both teams have to go for it. They've both got nothing to lose here. A draw's no good to either of them. But I think Sheffield United will sneak it.
I was chopping down a tree in my garden.
Oh, he's such a man's man.
Correct. Well, you said at one point was
it a bonsai tree?
No, it was a big tree, and I tried not to annoy the neighbours by having it grow too big. So I was cutting down the main trunk, but like quite high. I was on tiptoes, and I was soaring. There's a soaring action to people who are watching. I was soaring, and I couldn't look up.
Soaring.
Thank you. Okay, duets. You can be your own tag team.
I said I was here for the show tunes.
I was soaring, but I couldn't look up because the sawdust kept blinding me, and I wasn't wearing protective goggles as
not quite the man's man image we had lined up. Does this relate to Sheffield United?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, so I was listening. I was listening to the game on BBC Radio 5 Live, and they were saying that Mitrovic has made a big difference in the game. And did that happen?
Yeah. Well, he started, didn't he? I think it's first time since September actually that he started. But Fulham first half, and this is probably why they're going to go down, because they actually played some really good stuff, missed some gilt-edged chances, and then in the end, they took the point. But a point for either of those teams is no good, is it? Both of them need to win now.
Mitrovic assisted both goals, I believe. So, yeah.
Well, you getting him back in, Mike? Is he one of your 3 transfers?
No, he's not. No.
To sum up how desperate West Brom were, they brought that signing in, didn't they? His name escapes me. And he flew in from Turkey on a private jet, landed in the early hours, and he still played and actually looked quite good. Set up West Brom's second goal. But that's the kind of level of where they're at the moment.
It's not Diagana, is it? But his name reads something like Diagana.
Yeah, it's another Dina, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Diana or something.
He scored 13 or 14 goals or something in Turkey this season, so it might be one to possibly look out for.
West Brom do have the most informed midfielder in the game in Pereira. He's absolutely flying at the moment, soaring, flying. Get that before you, Mike. But he is absolutely on fire, and he's cheap. But I had him for the first half of the season. He is not fun.
No, another trap.
not a trap. I mean, he got the most assists in the Championship last season, didn't he? Someone who we were talking about at the start of the season, along with Saliba for Arsenal, but Lee said about that the Bear. But I reckon if you are behind, he's worth a punt. He's playing Sheffield United. Why not give him a go?
Yeah, could be a look. Wolves Arsenal. Wolves are falling to pieces, aren't they?
Correct.
No goals in that team, is there?
Haven't won a game in 8 games. So,
Wow.
Yeah, they're on a very, very poor run. Too much to be worrying about relegation, both in that squad and in terms of points accrued already. But they're in a bad run of form. I see they bought in the new silver for Real Sociedad. William Jose, that's the one, who came in tired towards the end, but put quite a shift in. Whether he's going to replicate the goal prowess of someone like Jimenez, I don't know, but he might be worth looking at again up front.
Yeah, it's sad for Fabio Silva though, because he's got nicer hair.
He does look around though.
Arsenal, however, have definitely turned the tide in terms of their defensive woes. Interestingly, what they seem to be doing is letting go of defenders. They haven't strengthened in defence in terms of players, and actually, it's the one area of their team that they haven't replaced with youth. They continue to play the likes of David Luiz and Cedric and Bellerin, so they haven't brought any youngsters into that defence. In front of them, they've brought in youngsters, but whatever he's done seems to have, whether it's a change in shape or just a change in work rate in front of that back four, they seem to have stopped conceding goals. So yeah, Arsenal defenders, Rob Holding, I had him for a little while there. He seems to be the pick of the bunch if you're looking for value.
David Luiz is such a. I know that some people, really don't like the guy. I find him great fun. He just plays with a smile on his face. He plays like a kid in the park. He's great fun to watch. He just, I mean, he'd be a good tag team partner if I hadn't already got Traore, to be honest, because people would be terrified of him.
The thing with Arsenal is as well, for as poor as they were the first half of the season, they're actually 4 points off West Ham in 5th. So they're not out of European contention at all. Which, considering I think they won only 4 of their first 14 games, is pretty mental. But fair play to Arteta, he's stuck in there, and they're doing all right. Arsenal to sneak that one, do we think? Maybe odd goal.
Yeah, well, I can't see it being high scoring.
No. 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'll go for.
Yeah.
Man U Southampton, two more teams next on Tuesday night who really difficult to call quite what they're going to produce.
Southampton a bit unlucky to lose to Villa. A couple of very contentious VAR decisions in that game, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, Matty Cash even came out on Twitter and pretty much mocking how ridiculous the decision was that he didn't get given handball against him. And then Ings' one. I mean, my daughter insisted that she's got a team with my wife that they captain Danny Ings, and that's because she's just a big fan of Danny Ings, so they went for that, and fair enough. Everyone else, apart from Salah, really failed captaincy this week, and as we were watching the game last night, I sort of tapped my wife, said Ings has scored last minute. This is insane, and so she was super excited, and then it was offside by what turned out to be a black armband.
I mean, this is the same as earlier on in the season when Bamford had his goal against Crystal Palace ruled out, and I thought they were going to stop all this nonsense because, well, like I say, if they're not going to give that as a penalty against Matty Cash, then how can they give Ings as offside for that? It's crazy.
Some people will say, "Oh, yeah, but it's black and white," but that freeze frame has to be so accurate from the time he's kicked the ball. And if it's that close, I think there's got to be some sort of margin of error where they just give the advantage to the attacker because that seemed incredibly harsh. Danny Ings, he looked dangerous, and Che Adams got dropped, didn't he? He didn't start. So all those people who've got Che Adams in on the cheap, it's a bit of a worry for them now.
Well, I saw Theo Walcott came on and was replaced by Adams.
He was injured. Yeah, he was injured actually.
So good chance that Adams will start.
Yeah, valid. I'll get back in my cage.
The thing with United is surely they'll learn their lessons because Sheffield United, I think they just took that game too lightly, expected just to turn up and win, and surely they would have learned their lesson from that. And you would expect them, if they can fire here, they should win this game, shouldn't they?
Yeah,
you'd hope so. You would hope so.
Southampton, they're not a bad team, but they've dropped down the table. They're they're really plummeting at the moment. They need to get a couple of results back together.
Down to 11th now.
Ever since the Ralph Hasenhüttl was sobbing on the sidelines. Since then, they've not picked up any points. Newcastle against Palace, a team transformed in Newcastle
because of one win.
What a performance, though. They really did play well against Everton.
Yeah,
you wonder where that's been, don't you, for the last few weeks? Because they're fair play. You know, the knife seemed to be out for Bruce at one point. Maybe it's because they just got that coach from Bournemouth, Jones. It must all be down to him.
In terms of upcoming fixtures for Newcastle, I don't know if one of you boys could have a quick look, but I think they're pretty kind.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it in.
I mean, Callum Wilson in that game, he was outstanding. He was. You could tell he was up for it from the start, and that makes such a difference. You can almost tell from the first sort of 5 minutes of any game which players fancy it, and he really wanted that game, and he did well. I mean, he missed a couple of chances. He should have had 3 or 4 goals, shouldn't he? Really.
He took his second particularly well, but yeah, just look at their fixtures: Palace at home Tuesday, then Southampton at home, who we've just talked about. Southampton out of form. Chelsea away. Man United away, and then they finish the month with Wolves at home. So they do have some winnable games through the month.
Yeah, worth if you've got a third striker like I don't know, Watkins or something. Would you swap him for Wilson at the moment?
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. It's the thing with I've actually had Watkins in twice this season, and he's not done anything for me in those 2 times. So he was a bit of a trap for me, but. Callum, we know what he can do on his days. As we mentioned earlier, he scored 10 league goals this season, but in the previous few weeks for Newcastle, he wasn't looking on it, so wasn't getting any service, looked completely isolated up top on his own. So I still wouldn't be that surprised if Palace went there and won, to be honest with you.
Eze again done well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a class player, isn't he?
And Zaha, Mike, have you got Zaha still?
Yeah, I have, just because of their run of fixtures, but I watched the game on Saturday and was disappointed. You've got lots of players around him now. Actually, we've always talked about Zaha as being the talisman and everything going through him. But actually, Ayew was up top with him. Batshuayi was up top. You had Townsend coming on. You had Eze. So actually, he's not the main man anymore. And he contributed, and he there were several occasions I thought he was going to get me an assist for a penalty being given, but I don't know. He's a frustrating player to have in your team, I think.
It's very hot or cold, isn't he, Zaha?
Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, I'm sticking with him for now.
Okay, Burnley City then. City, do you want to talk about them? I mean, we're all getting sporadically burnt by Pep Roulette. I've got Foden, who has played the last few games and done nothing, and I don't like him, and I can afford Harvey Barnes, so surely that's what I should be doing.
Yeah, he's been the more consistent point scorer for sure.
Yeah, City, you're just wondering that with Sterling and John Stones and the like not getting any minutes whatsoever against Sheffield United, is he going to rotate and bring them back in for this game?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about that, because why would you rotate your central defensive partnership? Why would you rotate that? There's no need. It's not a position where you should need to rotate.
It's true, but they have got a ridiculous squad, Man City, haven't they? And there is game after game at the moment, and that's possibly in his thinking.
Burnley a surprise, didn't they, against Liverpool? Do you think they could do the same again?
They could. I can see if you've got Cancelo, hold him. I think he'll be fine. Stones would be my worry, because Laporte is in his position, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And Laporte and Diaz looked very good against. Fair play to Sheffield United; they put up a good fight. But yeah, I think that could be an issue if I had John Stones right now.
Very harsh on John Stones there, because he's been excellent.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get some games. I can't see Pep starting Foden against Burnley, because Foden will get snapped in half by most of Burnley's midfielders.
Surely Sterling comes in this week, though. Having rested him at the weekend, and with no De Bruyne, no Aguero. I mean, you've got to be playing him, surely.
I wouldn't be making him captain though this week, that's for sure.
Oh, well, I might not be.
No, indeed.
My plan was to make him captain, but
I don't think I'd go for. I don't think I could captain any City player, because they're just so. You just don't know if they're going to play.
It's very high risk, isn't it? Certainly at the moment.
Could you? I mean, they started with Jesus up front, and do you think that
brilliant.
contributed to their
week after I took him out for not playing? Yeah, great.
Do you think that contributed to their sort of issues though, because they weren't very creative?
Don't know. I think
how could they be more creative?
Well, create more chances, score more goals.
No, but
do you want me to get a dictionary?
Well, the problem with Jesus normally is that he can't finish. That doesn't mean that they lack creativity. That just means that they lack finishing.
Did you see how close he was to the goal? I mean, you would have scored that.
Okay.
I mean, it was all down to Ferran Torres, who...
The way my luck's going, I probably wouldn't have done. I probably would have tripped over and broken my ankle.
On the plus side, you got some brownies. Let's move on.
Apparently, that's not a plus side.
Well, I've got a brownie. You know, 2 brownies were delivered by my mother. Phil sent them across. And rather frustratingly, she said, there's one for you and there's one for Claire. Which is annoying because I'd put them on top of the shoe cabinet and I was hiding them, but waiting for Claire to go to bed tonight. But never mind. Let's move on to Fulham Leicester. Leicester, I was really disappointed to see them. Well, not least because I've got 2 players in my squad, but to see them go down today, I thought they were going to put a real challenge in for that top 4, and maybe they still will. But it was a result that surprised me.
I loved it. I was dreading this game. Leicester was the one game I've been dreading this weekend because I don't have any Leicester assets, and I thought Barnes would go big.
Well, he scored early as well, didn't he, Barnes? Which I was delighted about because I've got him. And you expected him to go on and win, but Leeds equalised so quickly in that game. I think within 2 minutes. But Leicester, when they have had a bit of a wobble, does seem to have been at home this season, doesn't it? They got thumped earlier on in the season by West Ham, I seem to remember, when they'd had a good start. And just when people start talking about Leicester being in with the chance of winning the title again, they seem to trip over themselves. But fair play to Leeds. Fair play to Leeds. They played so well.
Well, as we discussed, England's Patrick Bamford. He was superb. And Harrison, another goal for him.
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah.
Another player I took out my team. Yeah, excellent. I'm gonna work out ahead of our next pod. If I'd not made those 7 changes going into this week, how many points my team would have got?
I'd imagine more than one.
Well, it's definitely more than the 24 gross that I got this week. Definitely. So, not happy.
Perhaps a lesson there. But the thing I noticed in that Leicester game is that against Leeds, you need to fight. You need to really be up for it. And in my opinion, James Maddison went missing.
Yeah, you've got to fight for your right without Vardy.
He's back.
He's happy. That was quite good. I mean, I'm happy because that was, I thought, quite spectacular.
Oh, I thought you were singing Allardyce's walk-on music.
Fight for the right without Vardy.
Okay, got it.
That's it. Yeah, okay.
It's not one of your better songs.
Aston Villa against West Ham.
Whoa. Leeds Everton. I don't think we've spoken enough about Leeds and how good they've been. I'm a Bournemouth fan. It's so weird, but I love watching them.
You're pretty much guaranteed goals, aren't you, when Leeds are playing?
Yeah.
They've had the most shots for and against them this season, which is pretty incredible.
I did enjoy a little Dallas goal today.
Yeah, bear in mind he's a centre half and he gets forward like that. Yeah. There's always points in him. I had him earlier on in the season and he had a double point score in 2 game weeks. So,
what do you do about Everton? Because they were awful the other day.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
Others bought DCL in, didn't we?
All of us, loads of people did. Everyone jumped on the DCL bandwagon, didn't they? Looked at the fixtures, Newcastle in disarray, home game. Well, it pretty much sums up the season, doesn't it? That Newcastle went there and won, to be honest with you.
He barely touched the ball, DCL. That would be my worry if I was a DCL owner. He has barely touched the ball. And they need to play it out to the wings, and they're trying to go for Rodriguez the whole time. That would be my big worry.
So
and
if you get an asset, Rodriguez is the one, with that in mind, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you want to get an Everton player in. I mean, I had Digne. I thought it was Digne time, and it wasn't. And so
this game might suit them, though. This game might suit Everton, though, because Leeds aren't a team to sit back.
Correct.
So, and this could be a good one.
Talking of good games, I think Aston Villa West Ham's got the potential to be a nice. That'd be a good watch.
West Ham slightly surprised me today. I know Liverpool are back with the last two results, you would suggest, but you looked at that starting 11 of Liverpool, the front three, Shaqiri and Origi in that front three, and you were looking at that thinking this was a great chance for West Ham to win that game, and they got turned over quite easily in the end, second half, didn't they?
Yeah, it did.
And Villa are fine as well, as Mike pointed out, the man at the moment, Jack Grealish. Another game where I'm expecting plenty of goals, actually.
Yeah, I think I'll keep Souček for that one. I just can't drop Souček.
He's too deadly from set pieces for a start.
Cresswell's on all the set pieces. Is he someone you'd be interested in?
How much?
I don't know.
An option?
Yeah, definitely.
He's fairly expensive for a West Ham defender. Traditionally, a West Ham defender you would expect to be, I don't know, 4.5 or something. But Cresswell's actually priced at 5.5. So,
well, like you said, he's got assist in him. So, yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Okay, looking into it then, fairly obvious captain choice possibly this week. This Liverpool against Brighton. Saying that Brighton just beat Spurs, but possibly the Salah captaincy is the obvious one this week.
Oh, it's another week I'm going to just spend that hoping he blanks. I've had a few good weeks where that has been the case, but obviously today we saw him get a brace. I can't afford to bring him in. It's a real shame. And I'm not sure who I'd sacrifice other than Fernandes, I guess, to shoehorn him into my team. I'm not ready to do that just yet. And you just wonder if he's giving everyone else a rest. Is it going to be his turn this week?
But he's had a rest fairly recently, Salah.
Has he?
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. The only thing I would say about this game is, I don't know, it feels like Liverpool turned the corner after their bad start to the year. Last home game they had that looked an absolute banker home to Burnley. They ended up losing 1-0, didn't they?
But Burnley's never a banker, though, because Burnley time waste their way through games, and they're just one of those teams that you don't really think, oh, yeah, they're going to fly. Against Burnley, because Burnley is stubborn, but Brighton, you could see them getting a few against Brighton. And did you see Salah's second goal today? It was pleasant.
If you're a Salah owner,
did you see it, Mike?
No.
Oh, no, I mean,
he was crying in the corner.
By about lunchtime today, I decided I wasn't going to watch any football.
So Cresswell takes a corner for West Ham. It gets cleared. It gets punted upfield to Shaqiri on near says Shakira. That would make football more entertaining.
Shakira.
Thank you. Oh, this close up of my face has make things a lot worse for people watching on YouTube. Thank you. Focus on you. That's fine. So Shaqiri then from the left hand side, Salah is running through the middle. He punts it high into the air towards the box, and Salah kills the ball with his first touch. Like the ball was coming pretty much from the moon. Lands it first touch and then just dinks it just to the left hand side of the keeper. It was superb, and that made me very flexible in the kitchen. So I'd be hoping for more flexibility next week. I'll be picking Salah as my captain unless I hear otherwise about an injury. But Wijnaldum scored. He's got a few this season. Anyone?
Yeah, low ownership, isn't he?
No, not for me. Definitely not.
No. Why would you?
Indeed.
I'll tell you who impressed is old Nat Phillips in centre back. He cleared a set piece that West Ham put in that was incredibly. The way he cleared it was very, very good. He was running towards his own goal and managed to clear it away from goal with his head. I reckon he could be getting a few starts. Obviously, they've got no defenders at the moment, and I could see him, getting a run of games now. And Nat Phillips is very cheap if you want to route into the Liverpool defence, which, I mean, to be fair, they do keep conceding at the last moment. But Nat Phillips is someone that I would definitely consider if you're looking for a Liverpool asset on the cheap. I think he's still 4 million.
Yeah. But again, how much? I know they've got so many injuries, but once that starts easing, he's not going to get much game time, is he? And even now, is he actually guaranteed it?
Well, no, this is the question, isn't it? But I mean, I suppose he's done very well today, and that might give him a bit of confidence. So to drop him would C-Mod against Brighton, you'd want to keep him in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you think so? Be interesting to see how many people jump on the bandwagon now.
Yeah. No, what? Because I said it, or
Yeah, and you are the phantom of all knowledge, my friend.
I don't have that much influence in the fantasy football world, I believe, or in any world. To be honest. I mean, I tried to advise my daughter not to captain Ings, but she knows best.
Last game, then, boys, of this game week, Spurs off the back of this pretty shocking defeat to Brighton, again home to Chelsea, who got their first win, didn't they, under Tuchel? When they beat who did they beat? Burnley, wasn't it?
Yeah, Burnley, I think. Yeah.
Burnley 2-0. So what do we think with this one?
I'm thinking
if Kane's back or not, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I think if he's not, I think Chelsea could go there and win.
It's crucial that Kane comes back because I've still got him. And against Chelsea, he likes playing against Chelsea.
He does. He's still got the red arrow against him, though, isn't he, at the moment? So it's looking unlikely, but we shall see.
Yeah, I felt tricked earlier in the week because they said that Kane, they put a red arrow against him and then put Drew back today.
That was insane. Yeah, that was a bit weird.
I don't think there are any assets in either of those teams at the moment, which feels a bit mad to say that I'd be in a hurry to put in my team. Someone without Kane is half the player he normally is. And I think if you look at Chelsea, I was really hoping that Tuchel coming in would maybe ignite something in Werner. Doesn't seem to have happened. So nothing really happening there. Ziyech wasn't even involved at all today, I don't think.
Ziyech.
I mean,
Ziyech.
Okay, you know who I mean. The whole this whole week's an embarrassment. Me getting someone's name wrong this week is the least of my worries. But yeah, he wasn't involved today. Ziyech or Ziyech, none of them were playing today. That is valid. Actually, that's not even an error. All three of them did not play.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. And Reece James is the one that I'd plumb for. He wasn't involved today. Alonso, as ever, comes in, does a great job. I don't know why that guy doesn't get more game time, but I can't see him playing every week. So yeah, I would leave Chelsea alone. I'd leave Spurs alone, and just enjoy the game for a game.
Yeah, it was rolling back the years, wasn't it, with Alonso and Azpilicueta?
I was going to say he's picked the old guard there, Tuchel, and you wonder, did he have a falling out or something, Alonso, with Lampard? Because he was not even getting a kick, was he, at all?
Jealous of his hair, I imagine. Lampard just jealous of Alonso's hair. I would say give Chelsea one more game, and maybe that's the game because a lot of people want to watch that game. I wasn't interested in watching Chelsea-Burnley today. I was making banana bread. So I think that'd be a good game, and we can watch it and get a good idea of who's actually regularly going to start for Tuchel now. Tuchel. I don't know what his actual name is.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
It is a tad.
Idiot!
Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Thanks very much. I mean, that's obviously deep-rooted from last week.
I'm still very upset about Friday.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Boys, that kind of brings to an end the preview of Game Week 22. And our preview of our managerial Royal Rumble. It's a shame that Pulis isn't still around because I reckon he'll just smack people with caps. It'd knock everyone over the ropes. But, anyway, gents, it's the end of a podcast. Thank you very much for listening, viewing.
It's very much not the end of the podcast. We haven't done our punts.
Oh, let's get them in quick. I am going for Bernardo Silva.
Oh, good shout. Probably won't play.
Harrison of Leeds.
And I've gone John Egan of Sheffield United.
Oh, dirty. Home to West Brom. Let's see. Right, better end with a punt then, lads. A pun. A farewell pun.
See if you can end on a high after a terrible week.
1 point.
Guys, all I would say is be good. And if you can't be good, be careful long. Don't have fun. Be careful long. Bye-bye now.
If anything sums up a 1 point week, that pun.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.